All right, here we are. Okay, everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you guys here today on today's Creative Checkup. This is where our God and Gigs community goes live every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern to help us solve one specific issue that's affecting us in our creative life. And we just kind of really connect the dots between our spiritual life and our creative life, how we're growing, how we're building, how we are following our passions. My name is Alan C. Paul. I'm the host and founder of God and Gigs. If you're new to our platform, thank you for joining us. You found your tribe. And I always like to jump in. I can't talk today. Jump in right away and make sure that you know that you can comment and share. And when you comment and share, we can see your comments. Instagram, we can't pull your comments up online, unfortunately, so I can't see them here, but I can see them as I'm looking at the screen over here. And then those of you who are watching on YouTube or Facebook, we can actually pull your comments and actually put them on the screen. So the first thing I like to do is make sure everything is working, that we can hear each other, that you can hear me, I should say. And if I see a comment, which I do, Erskine Music on YouTube, that usually, on Instagram, that usually means that we are good. And it's so good to see Erskine Music over there. We met over at the Spark Conference. Great to see you, brother. So I am assuming that our sound is working and that everything is connecting. So that's awesome. So that means I can go ahead and go and get started with our creative checkup agenda, because I never like to leave you waiting. I like to honor those of you who come right on time, and those of you who are joining us on replay as well. I don't want to spend a long time because you're watching on replay. You're not waiting for anybody. You're already here. So today we're going to start with our news and notes, as we always do. We get into our member spotlight. One of our gold members of our mastermind, our God and Gigs 360 mastermind group, which we call Gold. And we'll talk about that person, and then we'll share a little bit of the October events, things that have happened, some cool announcements, and some stuff that's going to be coming down also in November as well. And then we're going to jump into the vital signs, something that's important to our mental, spiritual, or emotional health. And that today is the importance of rest. I've got a confession to make, something that I'm not proud of, but I did not follow my own advice. And hopefully this will be cautionary and will help you through the holidays as the year is flying by. Then we're going to get into what you probably checked in for, the lab work, how we made it to 100 to 1,000, not 100, 1,000 subs, what made that possible for us. So you're going to be able to check that out And we're going to go right through some nitty gritty stuff, some details, some data, so that you can see how this can impact your creative brand. Even if you're not a YouTuber, I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but I saw the value of actually pouring into it. And we're seeing that really benefit our entire creative community and how I share and how we share. So I think it's important that we talk about it. We don't just want to put the number up like it's super important for the number. What's important is what that number signifies, what it allows us to do. So we're going to talk about that. Then the consult, that's a Q&A kind of thing where we're going to talk about, where's your online presence? Can you describe it in one word? This got a lot of people talking in our Facebook group. So I figured let's take it into our creative checkup as well. And finally, we'll end up with our prescription, which is our glow up challenge, which is going to be coming up. I got some announcements about that. Are we cool? Very cool. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't see any friends yet that are commenting, but like I said, I already saw the Instagram is joining us. So I think we are good. So first of all, shout out to our 360 Gold members that I just mentioned. All of them are connecting the dots with their spiritual life and the accountability, community, training, and support that they need inside our mastermind membership. The entire 360 membership is our home on the internet. It's where everything goes, our Inspired Creators collection with all of our templates, webinars, all the things that we've shared. Sometimes some of these private things that we share, we actually make it available to you, even if you missed a seminar or a webinar on how to grow your creative brand, financial planning, on how to find a church that supports your creative life. Like all these little things that we deal with, we help all of it. We keep all of it. Let me get my words together. We keep all of it together in our Inspired Creators collection. That's inside the 360, as well as many other programs. That's all inside our membership. The gold section is where all of the members get live coaching twice a month. And we've got a membership call coming up on Monday with all of those gold members. If you see ECE, that means they are, I don't know why I can't talk today. I feel like I'm rushing. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's the coffee I just had. So the ECEs are the established creative experts. And those are the ones who have already been on the podcast. They have established brands. They probably have taught me something, and they are there hanging out in 360 really as colleagues, but also as experts that you can pick their brain and ask them questions, things that you probably wouldn't be able to ask them if they weren't in 360 Gold. So that's the benefit of having the 360 Gold membership. And if you want to check that out, either one, if you want to join our other programs or join the God and Gigs 360, you can go to godandgigs.com/membership to get into gold or to become a guest. A guest is someone that bought a one-time product. So you get to hang out on our forums, but you don't necessarily get the benefit of the live coaching. So that's what's going on over there. Speaking of our ECEs, I wanted to give a shout out today to Sam Mabry. She is our established creative finance and tax expert. She is incredible, and she has just written or pre-written. There's a pre-order out for her new book called The Fixer Formula. And I am so proud to know that she is a part of our community. She is so supportive of everything God and Gigs does. She's an ECE inside of our membership. And you can check out all the information on her new book coming out at sammabry.me. But she is our gold member spotlight for today. I love her to death. She is just such an amazing woman of God. And when I tell you this girl knows her money, she knows how to make that money work. She knows how to handle the taxes that you might be behind on, like I was and am, and figuring out. She's helping me, and she's a huge part of the 360 membership. She's got at least 2 webinars, at least 2 seminars that we've done together that are in the Inspired Creators collection. So I highly recommend you get into the Inspired Creators collection just so you can see her webinars that were locked away, but now they have been open to everyone who joins up. And that is just a $10 a month subscription to join the Inspired Creators collection. Okay, so Sam, shout out to you. If you're watching this later, yep, you were our member call or member spotlight for today. All right. Upcoming events, real quick. Just want to let all of you who are in the membership know that we do have a Gold Member Mastermind meetup coming up on 8 o'clock this Monday. That's just for the Gold members. Now, if you want to quickly get in and join that membership, GodAgainst.com/membership, you could get in time and you could join us in that my membership call. Then I will talk a little bit later about our Glow Up Challenge that's going to be coming up in November. And we also have Black Friday coming up in November, which will be some type of special bonus to join. I don't know what it is yet. We're going to talk to LaShonda. I'm going to be joining her Mindful, all these M's, Mindful Marketing Mastermind, or yeah, that's what it is. And we're going to be working on a Black Friday event for you guys as well. So I would highly recommend you check that out when it comes around. The holidays are already upon us, you guys. This is crazy. Okay. I am so proud to once again mention this particular episode. It's now an episode. I was able to speak on the Podcasting Made Simple live stage, the virtual stage with these amazing people. That's Alex Sanfilippo, his wife, Alicia, Jamie, producer Jamie. That's over on the right side, I guess you could say. And then there's me underneath. But now they've also released our talk that we gave on building trust with podcasters, listeners faster. They released it as a podcast. So if you go to Podcasting Made Simple, I don't know. Actually, I'll take it back. I think it's only right now available on their site. So let me go ahead and type that in real quick just to make sure I get the right URL. Instagram, I don't know if you're going to see this. podmatch.com/EP/307. So I believe that's the right URL for that. If you want to go check out that website or check out that episode where I talk about, guys, this is again for podcast guests. This is not just for podcast listeners and not just for podcast hosts. Those of you who are saying to yourself, well, I don't have a podcast. Why do I need to attend that? Remember, this is all about you being able to show up on other people's platforms and get basically free publicity, free promotion. Podcasts are the number one trusted way to get information currently. We're in a big election season. You guys know that there's so much going on. It's really hard to get ads. The ads are going to be expensive, or they're going to be like shutting them down because they're nervous about people doing election craziness. So getting your word out there in these social media platforms is going to get harder and harder. What you really should be doing is appearing on more podcasts, because that's where people actually want to hear your story. They will buy in. And then if you follow my advice in this episode, you'll also have an online presence that verifies what you shared on the podcast. So it all works together. I ask you that you really, really should be considering this. All right. I really believe it's a good idea. It's going to bless those of you. Tim Risto Productions over here on Instagram as well. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad to see new faces, and not new faces. Some of these are faces and names I know, and hopefully some new faces as well. So make sure, by the way, if you're watching this wherever, like this video, share it, and let other people know that we're going to be talking about how to build your platform up to 1,000 subscribers. All that's going to be happening. I'm just doing the news and notes right now. We're almost done with that. Gosh, I love this picture so much. So this is my friend John Lungair. Now, I don't know if his Kickstarter is still available. It might still be open, but this is my favorite creative idea in a while. So I'm really hoping that this Kickstarter works out. But John Lungair is a London-based animator and studio director. He's done amazing work, but his latest work is a project that has a jazz playing cow. Yes, I heard. Yes, you heard me right. Who's fighting against the algorithms of the world and the filters and everything tech to get us back to human connection. I love this idea so much. And so I'm hoping that you'll support the Kickstarter, but please go check out. Hey, good to see you, Linus. Linus, isn't this awesome? I love this so much. A jazz playing cow who is out there to battle the forces of the algorithm. So Again, I don't know if this, I believe it was like 36 hours left. And I think he had like $10,000 to make up. But y'all share it. If a couple people just give $50 here, $25 there, $10 there. I've had a Kickstarter. I know how this works. It's really hard to like kind of picture yourself needing that much that fast, but these things can explode in a hurry. So number one, I want you to listen to the podcast, episode 306, okay, godandgigs.com/306. But then I would love for you to support John's effort to do Jazz Cow. And if it doesn't come out and the Kickstarter doesn't, hey, it's still possible that can still be made. So I hope you'll support it no matter what happens with it. Okay, guys, please, 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 please check that out. I love this episode. And we got so deep in this episode as well about what algorithms are doing to our human brains, to our creativity, whether Duke Ellington would have even done TikToks. Like, just imagine that. Miles Davis, Duke Ellington, Mozart, would they have done TikToks? Like, I don't think so. So this whole short form versus long form discussion really gets to the heart of us as creatives and what God has designed us for, which is connection. So trust me, this is not just about the Jazz Cow. This is about you listening and getting something that where you can fight against these algorithms and the mindset behind these algorithms. So yeah, that's what I am definitely suggesting you guys all go check out. And last but not least, yes, you might know that I had mentioned earlier that there was going to be a glow up challenge this week. But what happened was we said, you know what? It's not quite ready. I felt like I was rushing it. I honestly had not really put together all that I wanted to put together with the videos and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? No, it's not good enough if it's not really ready. So we decided not to do it this time. We decided what we would do is wait till November. So in November, we're going to do the glow up. Now, what is the glow up? The glow up is all of us as a community. Well, actually, we're living at the 50, so we can really work with everyone. 50 creatives working together to build up our creative brands and our online presence together so that by 4 days, you'll have an entire glow up plan so that you can have the best looking appearance, the best looking site, the best looking everything in your online atmosphere so that when people come to your site, they will know exactly what you do. They will want to sign up. They want to buy. They'll want to listen to your music. They want to head off to the play. They'll want to check out your pictures. Whatever it is, we're going to make sure that our branding and our glow up matches our online awesomeness, our offline awesomeness. So your offline brilliance should be matched by an online home that looks good. This does not mean you have to be a web designer. As a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about all the things you can do that have nothing to do with designing your website. We're going to talk about how just to be consistent with all of the things that you offer online so that you get that amazing look and that will give people the verification, like I talk about in this podcast episode, the verification that you are who you say you are and you are just as brilliant and God blessed as you appear online. You can deliver. That's what our goal is for the God and Gigs glow up. So go to godandgigs.com/glow up. You've got more time now. If you join now, that is $75 for those of you who are not in the membership, but I'm just going to give you the heads up. If you join the membership, there's a huge discount, kind of like a 60, 70% discount. So if you jump into the membership, you actually get a lower price and you can be a part of the challenge, the 4 days, the videos, the entire day that we're going to be doing on Saturday, where we're going to do a live glow up with all of you. So I hope you'll jump into that. That is going to be awesome. And you can join right now at godandgigs.com/glow up. All right, let's get into our vital signs today. And this one is like a kind of a confession for me. Okay. So let me just tell you a little bit about my weekend. This weekend was the first kind of like, as Linus knows, this is like the official start in South Florida of the season. And the season, when we say the season, it's when all of our New York visitors come down to South Florida, the vacationers come down, all of the people with their boats and all the people that want to hit the beach. So this is really all of a sudden we go from almost no work as musicians and, performers to being slammed every week with conventions and parties and holiday parties and everything. And it's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing. Problem is, I wasn't ready and I totally did not prepare. Has anybody else ever been in a situation where you got slammed by work? Thank you. I see my mom is there as well as Reverend Joel Pelsu, Michelle, both of the Pelsus. Hopefully you're there. So glad you have good information there. I appreciate that, Mom. Rita Paul there on Instagram. So yes, I was absolutely slammed by these events. I took them all on the same weekend. Got to play keys behind one of the biggest Christian podcasts. They were doing a live podcast in Miami, or in South Florida. So I got to play behind that. And then there was another event. Y'all, I did not take my time. I did not rest like I should have rested. I did not eat the way I should have eaten. And your brother had a little bit of a breakdown, just like I hit the wall hard at the end of my Sunday event. Not proud of that. And I think God was giving me that reminder that no, you cannot pick up all of the balls and start juggling them all with the content creation and the music and everything, and all of a sudden just start going at 100 miles a minute. Like, that's what I tried to do. I tried to go from 0 to 100, and my body was like, nope, that's stress you just put yourself through. Not having it. So if anybody else has ever gone through that, where your body was like, hey, we cannot just start going into all of the things of the holiday season without being very careful and very healthy and very intentional about protecting our health and protecting our boundaries and all of that stuff. So if that's you, if you know what I'm talking about, if that has hit you before, please give me a yes in the comments, or a me in the comments, because that will help me know I'm not alone. I'm out here bearing my soul to y'all. But I want to make sure that y'all are also together with me, and that we're all going to make sure we're not over stressing ourselves to the holidays. It is just so easy. Anybody else? It is so easy for us to get caught up in holiday parties, doing this, doing that, especially if you're in church. The ministry picks up all the Christmas events, the Christmas things, all of the things for Thanksgiving. And so if you're not guarding your rest, if you're not saying, okay, for me, maybe it's not 8 hours. For me, it's been around 6 to 7 hours, but it's been getting to bed, putting my phone down, putting my phone to bed, not going to bed with my phone so that I'm not scrolling in bed and doing the doom scrolling, not allowing my health and my eating to get off, making sure I'm doing my daily exercises. These are all essential to the creative life, you guys. You cannot create from an empty cup. And your empty cup will be from running around and doing all the things that this season requires of us, even in terms of making money, even in terms of ministry, without making sure you fill your cup with rest, with proper eating, all those things. I am the poster boy of what happens when you don't. I don't want to see that happen to anybody else in our creative community. So let's all commit to taking care of ourselves first this holiday season, before you take all the gigs, before you sign up for all the events at church. Make sure you got it in your calendar. When's your rest? When's your eating time to eat correctly, and then do meal prep or whatever it takes. Whatever you're going to do to make sure that you're sticking with those habits that keep you healthy, let's not neglect that just because life is about to turn out on a mile a minute in the last 10 weeks of this year. Everybody agree? If you agree, let me see a yes in the comments. That'll help me know that you are with me. I see some folks that are staying with us in Instagram. So that helps as well. So if you're also watching on replay, tell me if you're going to be prioritizing your rest and how you're going to do that. I really would love to see that in the comments as well, because you encourage us and you help the algorithm. I know we said we're fighting against the algorithm, but we're playing the game of the algorithm. And when you comment, it does help this get to more people. And that helps us bless more people with what we're sharing just now. They'll see it, and they'll also take the rest and make sure to prioritize their health, which is a number one priority in this community. All right. Now for what I think everybody came for. Let's make it a little bigger because I know you're going to need to see this. How we got to 1,000 subs. Number one, thank you to all of you who helped us get to 1,000 subs. This was a long time coming. And now I know some of the YouTube videos and the YouTubers in the world, all the people who have the hacks and things, they'll say, oh, get to 1,000 in 1 day, in 9 days, in 20 days, 1,000 subscribers, just get it. And like they have these amazing hacks or whatever. That's not us. That is not us. This has been a long, slow growth. Now, it has expanded since we've tried some things in the last year and a half, which is what I want to share with you today. But the key of this is not about, oh, how many subscribers we have proves that we're a real platform. No, this is proof that consistency matters and thinking about the people you're serving matters. This is why it's not just about YouTube. This is about you focusing your attention on what actually impacts your community. And just like this live stream is sharing that I'm doing right now is kind of showing, there's individuals that need your growth, that need your content, that need your resources. And if this is one way to do it, by making sure that you have the right things in place to grow your YouTube channel, use these there. But don't think it's just for YouTube. This could be used anywhere to help you grow your channel so that you can reach more people that God has called you to reach. Make sense? So we're not just bragging. We're not just bragging. I'm just going over here to Instagram real quick before we go ahead. I like that, Erskine there. Thank you so much. Back to the mention on rest. He was talking about think rest for the creative happens in non-traditional ways, creative in your work and rest. That's so true. You got to be creative in how you rest, finding that space. You can't just turn everything off. It's so true. I agree with that 100%. So thank you for that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about exactly how we got to these 1,000 subs. What did we actually do that worked? And what did we do that didn't work? So let's talk about it. First, I'm going to kind of go into what had the most impact. Now, this could be the most impact positively or negatively, okay? All I'm saying is that it had an impact. I'm not saying that it was necessarily the best impact, but these things had the most impact. So the first thing that had the most impact on us getting 1,000 subscribers was having back catalog videos. This was a huge deal because, and you can see it's on the positive side, 53% of our subscribers, so just do the math, we're right around 1,000, we just hit 1,003 or so. So just do the math, and that tells you that 530 of the subscribers came from just 4 of our back catalog videos. More than half of the subscribers that have making up the people who joined into God and Gigs just came from 4 videos. That is a huge deal that I will explain later. But the key is, if you're creating content, you need to keep that stuff that you're sharing what's called evergreen, because you never know when people are going to find it and when it could bless your creative life and bless your creative platform. Number 2, going downward below back catalogs, and we'll go in that clockwise motion, is live streams like I'm doing right now. As you'll see, it doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of subscribers came from this, but it did help me become more consistent online. And by doing this over and over again, I've gotten better and better at what YouTube actually wants me to do and understanding it. So this was, of course, my advice from our mentor and ECE, LaShonda Brown, who, when I said, I stopped going live every week because I don't want to do more lives than I do for my community, she was like, well, what's wrong with you? So she is the reason why I jumped back into the lives, and she's the reason why this is more and more of a part of our entire creative platform, is sharing in this way. So now we go across to shorts. This was interesting. I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of impact this had. You may be surprised by what kind of impact it had. It did not have the kind of impact that I thought it did once I looked at the numbers, but it did have an impact. And one of the big impacts it had is that it provided more opportunities for this channel to be discovered. So that was huge, definitely a positive, but there are other ways that I think I had to navigate this that I'll share. And finally, SEO optimization. That is probably a big word that scares a lot of us, but honestly, with tools like TubeBuddy, it actually wasn't that hard. It actually made a lot of sense. And some of this stuff is native to YouTube. So improving our thumbnails and descriptions made a big difference in how we attracted subscribers, because as you know, if people don't click, they can't subscribe. If they don't find you, they can't subscribe. And like we just said, this is not just about building up your YouTube channel numbers. This is about how you are doing a better job of connecting with those you are called to reach, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, on your blog, on your podcast, wherever it is. These are the kind of things you have to think about. These are the questions you need to ask yourself before you start this climb to build something and to get followers at a certain platform. So I'm going to have to blow this up because I just didn't realize how small it is. Let's see if I can still get you guys to see it. So I guess, yeah, it's going to be hard to see. I'm going to have to look at it myself, full screen. See if we can make this whole thing full screen for myself. All right. So good. Okay. And you guys can still see me too. All right. So this is a list from the back end of YouTube and a graph of I just mentioned it. I think this is just for this year. So we only did this year because I want to make this point about what really made a difference. And I think what I need to do here before I go any further is pull up the banner that matters here. Here we go. So the impact of the back catalog. Okay. So this is what really got me. This is just, I think I got to hide myself too. And remove myself from stage so you guys can see. People saw it that day, so I guess it wasn't effective. That is not true. That is not true. You don't know when the people are going to find the thing that you have shared and say, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been looking for. So don't neglect your back catalog. Okay. Make sure that you're always saying to yourself, hey, is there something valuable that I've shared before? Am I making sure it's still top of mind? I love Meet Edgar for this. By the way, you can find any of these tools at godandgigs.com/toolkit. When I mention them, I have several different apps and things like that I share. And a lot of times I forget to say, hey, if I mention an app or mention a tool, you can get it for yourself. Just go to godandgigs.com/toolkit. I don't have my banner, of course. Every time I think I have a banner, I don't have it. That drives me insane. Anyway, godandgigs.com/toolkit. Okay. So that's the impact of the back catalog. And I'll quickly go into, let's go to SEO optimization. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I want to go ahead and pull this slide up as well. And so I think this is a good example of what was happening in the back end as well. You can see that this is where our year, the last year, we had 39,800 views, which was 73% increase from the year before. That's incredible. That's thanks to Bootstrap Biz Advice and other advice we got from them. Same thing with the watch time. We had a 92% increase, and there's the 250 subscribers that pushed us over the edge. Now, why do I put SEO optimization here? Because I think one reason why we started getting more views and more watch time was because we started really working on the thumbnails and my descriptions. It started getting better because I started using TubeBuddy. Once again, you can find TubeBuddy as a link at godandgigs.com/toolkit. You can see what we do with that. And that is where we got so much better, or I got so much better at sharing what I was sharing through the thumbnails and making sure that it was very clear. Even this particular podcast and this particular live stream today, we said, what are we talking about? We're talking about getting to 1,000 subs, what worked and what didn't. Okay. So this absolutely worked, because even though I can't show you too many stats, you can see even there where the 558 views over the last 48 hours. That's not something I would have gotten before without really focusing on what words are keywords, what words are being searched for, what is helping drive the algorithm, and then where can I find a place where I can continually repeat this thing over and over again every time it works until it doesn't work anymore. Okay, when it stops working, you can stop using it. But until it stops working, you should be doing the same thing over and over again. And yes, you need to look at this data. That's probably something else I should mention. You really should be looking at this data. We can talk about that if you jump into godandgigs.com/membership and join the membership. We can do more workshops on that, on actually reading the data that YouTube gives you so that you know exactly what to respond to. What actually do I need to look at? What numbers actually matter? Because there's all these numbers. Which ones actually matter? So we can help you with that in God and Gigs 360. Join us at godandgigs.com/membership. It would definitely help. While I'm on this, well, let me also pull up, because I just mentioned as well, something that was kind of a surprise. Okay. The impact of the shorts. What's interesting about the shorts is that there, once again, you can see over here where I did social media trends. That was a recent short that I did with John Munger. 502 views, not bad. Here's the thing I can't really show you because I just did a screen share of this particular or screenshot of this particular chart. So I can't really show you the other things without going off screen. So I'm not going to do that right now. But what I am interested in showing you or telling you about is the fact that our shorts were very effective in helping us get more reach, getting us more people that are actually looking at it. I would say they were a mixed bag in terms of subscribers. The thing that I think it did help was that there were a more steady stream of people watching our shorts that I would clip using Vizard. That's another tool that you can find at godandgigs.com/toolkit. But using Vizard, we were able to create more content, which got it out faster. So our YouTube Shorts was helping to keep us in the loop. Now, not everybody that watched us short ended up subscribing. So I would say, actually, I do have that number. I think it was 8% of those subscribers came from shorts. 8%. Not horrible, not a huge portion either, but definitely, again, if you think about it, that's the 8%. So that's 80 people, right? So it definitely helped. It wasn't like the big, huge groundswell subscribers that I might have hoped for, but it definitely helped us stay more consistent where people were actually jumping in and engaging with the content and engaging with these clips. So I would say that was a mixed bag, not for subscribers, but for keeping our visibility out there. Shorts was pretty good. Okay. And then finally, I think I did the back catalog, which was the majority, and we talked about SEO optimization. So now the live streams, literally what I'm doing right now. Once again, not a huge feeder of subscribers. Now, if you are watching this now and you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor, do us a favor, and go ahead and subscribe. Because again, it might seem like it's no big deal. It's just a little button, and I may not even follow you again or whatever. It's not the same kind of immediacy as following someone on TikTok or following someone on Instagram where you immediately see more of their content. YouTube's not like that. But here's the thing that the live streams have helped me to do, and I just mentioned it, and you're seeing it now. It's helped me get better at organizing our content and being more consistent with our community, which in turn has helped us do better in YouTube. I guarantee you, there's not a lot of people that joined or subscribed because of the live streams, but it has definitely built more rapport with all of you where I know I can follow you guys back. You can follow us back. It's just becoming much, much more of a place where I know every Friday you can find me and I can find you. So that is the big impact that has had. The live streams has created this consistency in the platform. And I think, honestly, that I can attribute a lot of the people that did subscribe to live streams, even if it doesn't show in the data. I'm pretty sure that there was something in this that helped us generate just that very common, repetitive, consistent. We're here, we're on YouTube. You can find us at any time. You can find our videos anytime. And it became more of a hub where people didn't follow every single time. But as soon as they followed, we saw that little thing start to go ticking higher and higher until we finally made it to 1,000. So those were the things that worked the best. The things that didn't work, as I mentioned, shorts was okay. I think we'll still do shorts, but I don't know if that'll be like the biggest emphasis. The community post as well on YouTube, not as great in terms of helping us build a bunch of people. Just something that I thought was a good idea to keep posting, but that wasn't a huge deal. And if you don't know what a community post is, that's where they actually have kind of like a Facebook type thread on YouTube. So that wasn't a huge draw. So that didn't really necessarily work, even though I tried to post more there. Wasn't as big a deal. Okay. So that is kind of like my overview of how we got to 1,000 subs. Again, the most important, biggest factor was the back end backlogged content that when people went searching, they found it. And that's where 90% of our subscribers or 50% of our subscribers came from. The other 40-ish percent came from individual pieces of live streams, shorts, other feeds. All this stuff started working together. So we eventually got to 1,000 trickle by trickle. Again, 250 over the last year. And we've been in business. I think I started really getting really serious. Not even serious. I was actually posting some, but not really serious. I think in 2001, not 2001, silly, 2021. Okay. It's where I think we started kind of really trying to get into the YouTube more and doing my live streams and so on. By the way, I got to admit, some of these subscribers were actually from music programs that I put inside Guiding Gigs by accident, or not by accident, but just that's where they ended up. And so, hey, hopefully you guys that are watching that saw music, you're not annoyed that I have another YouTube just for music. Hopefully you're not annoyed that this channel is not for that. This channel is for Guiding Gigs, and I just kind of accidentally put those concerts in there back during the pandemic. All right, guys. So I hope that has helped you. I hope you see now we're 11:45, so I don't want to take too long with this one anymore. You have gotten a little clue of how we made it to 1,000 live streams or 1,000 subs via our live streams, our shorts, and our videos. 100% invest in your videos. 100% invest in whatever you share so that it has that beautiful picture of authenticity behind what you share online. And that way you can keep this going, even if it's not the specific thing that you're doing. Maybe if it's going to be like a different path, you're going to take another path, but you'll still have the foundations that you'll need to build something great. All right, my friends, let's move on. Let's go take rid of that. Live streams is gone. And let's go on to this. This is going to be a lot of fun, okay? So those of you who are watching live, or if you're watching on replay, I would love to know this. I would love to know, is there one word to describe your online platform currently? And make that clear. Currently, what describes your online platform? So I'm going to wait a second to see if we get some names and some ideas, because I will pop them up here on the screen. And it could be gorgeous. It could be amazing. It could be non-existent. It could be ugly. Whatever word you decide to describe your current online platform. And by the way, let me define online platform. Online platform means your website and or your social media. Okay. Your online is your website and or a combination of your social media, wherever you show up online, however you show up online. That's what we're talking about. I would love to know, again, in the comments or in the replay comments, how do you see your own online platform? What's the word you would use to describe it? So I will have to go first. And even as I said, because I know that we did this on online already. But I think I said for music that it's disjointed. My music sites are not connected together yet. As a matter of fact, last week on the video, we did a little bit live of rebrand. So I put some things together real fast, but it still needs a lot of work. I need a glow up plan for my music career sites. For Gotten Gigs, much better. I think it's thriving a little bit. It's getting to that point where it's comfortable, where I know what I'm sharing. I know how the equipment works. But more importantly, I know what the look is on my sites. I know the bylines. I know what the bio is for the website itself. I know that we're focusing on thriving as God-gifted creatives who are building better lives from the inside out. I know that we are touching people with deep convictions and moral character, and they want to thrive as creatives in any place, whether it be in the mission or the marketplace or the ministry. So I have that kind of picture in my head because I've been working on it for so long. But to make sure that it's in all the websites, there's still some work to do. So that has to be, my word would be, I think, thriving, but one, and then the other one, disjointed. So as you can see, I've got several different properties, and I have to kind of pay attention to. One might be great and the other one's not. So I will be curious what you think of your own website, your own platform. Can you describe it in one word? Does that one word describe what you're actually sharing? Because if it's not, then you've got some incongruence there. Okay. So you've got to focus on what's that one word that really gives you an idea of what you're currently doing in your social media or your website. And by the way, if you want help with this, this is why we're doing the Glow Up Challenge. We're doing the Glow Up Challenge because we want to help you with that. By the way, I see you, Erskine. Great content. Can't wait to get you on my channel someday. I would be honored to be on your channel, sir. Let me know. Email me at alan@gottengigs.com. Hopefully that will help you get on. Hopefully we're not freezing too much either. I know there's a little bit of freezing, it looks like, even though I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, not the Wi-Fi. I'm connected to the, oh gosh, I can't say it right. The Ethernet, it looks like it's freezing a little bit. So hopefully we'll be okay. All right. Let's finish up with the prescriptions. And I just mentioned it. And by the way, if you're watching on replay, go ahead and put those comments there in the replay. Okay. Let me go over here and let's do the last one, prescriptions. And yes, we've already mentioned this. Whoops, there it is. We've already mentioned this, but the Glow Up Challenge is coming up. And again, we moved it over to November 13th. And as I mentioned, the reason that we moved it to November 13th is because I want to make sure that everybody had a chance to join and that I had a chance to make sure that I offer something that's going to help you to glow up your channels. You just heard how YouTube really kind of forced me to take video seriously, to take my branding seriously. You can see it even in these slides from beautiful.ai. The slides, everything had to come up a notch. Everything had to come up, and I had to glow up this very live stream if I wanted more people to check it out. Well, it's the same thing is true of your creative space, your online presence. If you're not trying to upgrade it, if you're just like, oh, we don't have enough money, is it? And you don't try to find new ways to build, you're going to find yourself stagnant in your creative life because, yes, we need audiences. Yes, we need to promote. So all those things have to be working together, or else you don't get that boost of helping God to help you by doing what he's given you, or giving what he's given you, and sharing it in the world. That's why it's so important that you get to the Glow Up Challenge, that you go ahead and join us. Again, $75 is just for those who are not in Guiding Gigs 360. It is not a smart thing for me to say, but I would just go ahead and join it, guidinggigs.com/membership before that. And you might as well, because now you get to be a part of 360 and you get to be signed up for the Glow Up Challenge, which will happen basically inside of 360 as well. So you'll already be there, you'll already have your membership, and you get the discount on the Glow Up Challenge, which I would highly recommend. I want to say the website is still the same. I want to make sure to check it because now I realize, oh gosh, they even update the website. That would not be good. But I still want you guys to come and check it out. You're going to enjoy this. It's going to be 4 days, 3 days of pre-recorded and discussion, and 1 day live where we'll all talk together on Saturday on how we are glowing up our channels. All right, my friends, it is 11:51. I see a few more people have joined us. I believe that would be Sheila over here on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. I see a few more people who joined us who are able to jump in. If you weren't able to stay, I understand. But we will be going, I won't say live. We will be replaying this after this stops. So it becomes a replay. And then number two, I'm actually going to go ahead and post this on LinkedIn later on. So LinkedIn, hopefully you're enjoying this as well, because I have to do some little machinations to figure that out. But I figured it out last time. I think it's worth it for you guys to get this creative checkup as well, even though I can't go to all the networks at the same time. But StreamYard definitely gives us a good option for that. All right, my friends, I'm checking to see if there's anything I forgot. Again, hopefully the internet's not playing bad with you. Let's see, excuse me. I was going to mention before I forget, this is totally up in the air because I don't necessarily have a date for this, as I mentioned once again, the Glow Up. But if you are in South Florida, I would be curious if you could help me figure out when to do what will be a podcast in-person meetup. I haven't decided when to put it yet. And I'm trying to figure out, should I do it on a Saturday, like brunch thing, where you guys just come out and we talk about podcasting, or would it be better to be on a Thursday night? So if you're in South Florida, or even if you're not, but I'm just curious because I'm trying to figure out when's the best time to put this thing together. So this is just a public, just a public plea to help me figure out what's the best time for something. I don't know if I should do a Saturday morning or if I should do a Thursday evening get together, because I know some people like they're working, so you can't do it during the day. So just trying to go back and forth. So I'm just trying to figure that out. All right. So let me know what you think in the comments if you're watching this, whether I should do a Thursday night meetup, thinking about traffic, or whether a Saturday morning meetup would be better. Because we got to find a venue for this, because we're going to be helping Alex and Podmatch to do some local events, which I'm really excited about. All right. As I mentioned, last little piece of reminder, go sign up for the Glow Up. Check it out, guidinggigs.com/glow-up. It is not this weekend. It is later. You have plenty of time. You have about 3 weeks now, but don't put it off. Don't put it off, okay? Make sure you head out to guidinggigs.com/glow-up. Okay, I think I'm losing my voice, so I better go ahead and head out of here. But this was really good. Hope that information we shared on YouTube will help you. Thank you for joining me. Erskine over here, Don Reddy. I think that's I, J Payne. I'm not sure that's Jeremiah Payne or not. But Erskine Music joined us, as well as my mom, Rita Paul. Hi, Mom. Good to see you. AE Ministries, always blessed to have you in the house. Tim Risto Productions was also there. Ron Pacheco, thank you for joining me, brother. Also, people who I cannot see. Oh, that's right. Linus was here on Facebook. So anybody that's watching on YouTube or watching on the replay, I should say, please go ahead and share that you watched on replay so that we know you were there, okay? Go ahead and join it and just like, hey, I'm watching on replay, couldn't join live, no big deal. Just want to make sure you're getting this information that's helping you. All right, my friends, I think that is it for today. So until next time will being Friday or the podcast on Monday, continue to become the creative that you are created to be. God bless, and we will see you next week, next Friday. God bless.